Right, good morning everybody. Welcome to Monday's Maths. Today's lesson is going to be all about adding fractions. I know you did a little bit of this before the half term with white rows, but we're going to go through it again. We're going to look at it in lots of detail, and then you're going to have a go at your Power Maths books, your green Power Maths books here. We are on lesson 6, and I will remind you again at the end of which page that is. We'll be doing page 21 in our Power Maths book later. Don't forget as well that you need to go and have a look at the power-ups. I've sent you these in a Word document. You just need to have a look at Monday's power-up for today. Here's the first part of our maths lesson, our discover. When I do these with my class, what we usually do is we look at the problem, we have a little chat about it, and then I give the children some time to independently have a go. And I would like you to do that today. I'll tell you when to pause the video, and then you can go and have a go on some paper at home. So our problem today says, question 1a, altogether, what fraction of pizza is left in the boxes? So Zach and Isla are here and they have been eating some of the pizza. Zach's got some pizza left and so's Isla. How much pizza's left? And I want that answer as a fraction. Question B says use a number line to show your answer. I'm going to give you a bit of a hint here. Your number line will be less than 2. It's not going to jump in whole numbers. It is going to jump in fractions. Pause the video now and then have a go at those problems yourself. When you've had a go, come back to the video and we'll talk through the answers together. So, Zach has got 4 pieces of pizza left out of a possible 10. So he has got 4/10 of pizza left. Isla's only got 3 pieces left. And again, that's out of 10. So she has got 3/10 left. So to work out how much pizza is left altogether, we see we've got the first box of 4/10 and the second box of 3/10, and then we can add them together. What you should notice is that the denominator, that number at the bottom, does not change. When we add or subtract fractions, the denominator, the number at the bottom, does not change. The number at the top, the numerator, does change though. You should know that 4 and 3 makes 7. So altogether there are 7/10. 4/10 and 3/10 makes 7/10 altogether. That 10 at the bottom, the denominator, does not change. This has been shown here on a bar. Here is your 4/10 and the 3 more. They've just been moved from one box into the other to combine them. Altogether, that gives us 7 pieces out of a possible 10. For part B, you had to show this on a number line. This number line is jumping in tenths because we are counting in tenths. The pizzas have been chopped up into tenths. So this person has started on 0 and they've jumped 1, 2, 3, 4/10 for Zach's pizza, and then another 3/10 to show Isla's pizza that's left, giving us 7/10 altogether. The other person here has gone straight to 4/10 to show Zach's pizza and then added 3 more tenths to reach the same answer of 7/10. Well done if you got those right. If you didn't, could you please go and have a little look at your answer, and then you could use a different colour pen or pencil to correct what you have done. Remember that the denominator does not change when you're adding 2 fractions. Let's move on to the think together section now. We're going to do one together, we'll work together on that one, and then I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at the other 2. Have a go at working them out on some paper at home, then come back to the video and we'll talk through the answers together. So this first question says 4/8 add 1/8 equals. Now, do you remember the rule that I told you a minute ago about when we add or subtract fractions? The denominator, that number at the bottom, it stays the same. we are counting in eighths here. We're adding 2 lots of eighths here. So that denominator is going to be 8 again. We are still counting in eighths. Now we started with 4 eighths and we've got one more. You can see them here. Here's the 4 eighths and another one here. 4 and one more makes 5. So altogether we've got 5 eighths. You can see that on the number line here too. Here is the 4 eighths and one more eighth brings us to 5 eighths. So altogether we've got 5. Pause the video now and have a go at question B and C and then come back in a minute. If it's a little tricky to see, I'll read them out for you. 4 ninths add 2 ninths is the first one. Second one, 2 sixths add 4 sixths. Okay, let's go through some answers then. For part B, 4 ninths add 2 ninths. The rule is the denominator will stay the same. So we're still going to have 9 as our denominator. 4 and 2 makes 6. So the answer is 6 ninths. For part C, 2 sixths and 4 sixths. The denominator will stay the same. We'll have 6 still. 2 and 4 makes 6. So there will be 6 sixths. If you'd like a tricky challenge, what is another way of writing 6 sixths? Another way of writing it is to say 1 or 1 whole. 6 sixths, when the numerator is the same as the denominator, shows that this is a whole fraction. You've got all of the possible pieces. You've coloured them all in, selected them all. So another way of showing 6 sixths is to say 1 or a whole. If you've written that as your answer, that's absolutely fine as well. Here are 4 more questions that I'd like you to have a go at. Pause the video and have a go yourself. Question A says 3/5 and 1/5. B is 3/5 and 2/5. C is 1/6 and 3/6. Part D is 5/12 and 1/12. Off you go, pause the video. And so the first one, 3/5 and 1/5 gives us 4/5 altogether. Part B, 3/5 and 2/5 gives us 5/5 altogether, and another way of saying that would be 1 or 1 whole. Part C, 1/6 and 3/6. 1 and 3 makes 4, so altogether we have got 4/6. And for part D, 5/12 and 1 more 12 gives us 6/12 altogether. At this point, I'm going to tell some of you to go into your green Power Maths books. When we do this in class, normally I will choose some children who are ready for a challenge to stay with me and we'll go through some challenge questions. Other children I will send straight to their Power Maths books. If you're somebody who has found the questions that we've done so far really easy and you think that you are ready to take this to the next level, stay with me and keep watching the video. If not, if you think that you have found it a little bit tricky or you'd like to have a practice first, go to your green Power Maths books. For today, we are on page 21. It's got adding fractions at the top. Have a go at questions 1 and 2. I think everybody should be really confident doing those. And question 3 then is a little trickier, using the number line to see what it shows you. Question 4 is lots of rapid fire questions. This is nice and straightforward. I think most people will be able to tackle this really well. When you get onto questions 5 and 6, they get a little trickier. Have a go, try. Doing the challenge video with me here will help with some of these. And of course, please don't forget to go to the reflect at the bottom of page 23. We always do this at the end, sorry. Even if you've not done all the questions in between, it's really important that you do the reflect. It really helps draw together all your learning. It helps you to explain what you have got so far. Okay, remember to write in full sentences for that too, please. Okay, let's have a look at the challenge. So what calculation is shown by this fraction strip? We've got some yellow over here, and that is followed by some purple too. We can see that this number line goes up to 1, so we're going to be counting in fractions. Have a look now, maybe you need to pause the video and have a look, see how many equal parts this number line has been chopped up into. I can see that it's been chopped up into 11 equal parts, so we'll be counting in 11ths. There are 2 yellow parts here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 purple parts. So have a go. What does that show? You should write down that answer as a number sentence. Part B asks you, the answer is a fraction less than 1. What is the question? Find 3 possible answers. Now they've already told you here that the denominators are always going to be 11ths, but you need to fill in the missing blanks. You could colour in the squares on a strip or draw your own. Just make sure you chop it up into 11 equal parts to show 11ths and find 3 possible answers. Remember though, it says that the answer is a fraction less than 1. Don't get tricked out by making your answer less than 1. How many 11ths equals 1? You've been emailed this as a Word document as well, Monday's challenge sheet. So you can have a go on that sheet if you'd like. Come back when you're ready for some answers. So for the first part, question A. As we talked about before, that strip has been chopped up into 11 equal parts. That means we're working with 11ths. So our denominators are going to be 11ths. I can see there that we have got 2 yellow parts. So we are adding here as well. So we are adding, combining the yellow and the purple parts to find out how much of the strip has been coloured in altogether. Looking at the yellow parts then, we have 2 yellow parts, so 2 11ths. And then the purple parts, we have got 6 of those. So the calculation we are doing is 2 11ths add 6 11ths, and altogether that makes 8 11ths. I haven't filled in these parts down the bottom because there are lots of different answers that you could have. The important thing is that they are less than 1. 11 11ths is 1, so your answer must combine to less than that. You might have something like 1 11th and 2 11ths to give 3 11ths. You could have 5 11ths and 5 11ths to make 10 11ths. You couldn't have 5 11ths and 6 11ths though, because altogether that would give you 11 11ths, which would equal 1. Have a go now in your practice books. Challenge yourself by getting onto the challenge questions later on. Don't forget to do the reflect as well. If you've got any questions, if you've got any problems, email your class teacher, please. We're more than willing to help you out if you get stuck. Remember, when you're adding fractions, the most important rule is that the denominator stays the same. It does not change. Good luck, and I'll see you again tomorrow for some more maths. Bye.